Something important, my dear friends. Important not just from an examination standpoint, but also from a very practical standpoint. Because practically you should have a clarity of thought on what is the valuation, what is the valuation methodology adopted for the purpose of payment of customs duty. And without knowing this, we can't move forward. It's extremely important that you have a clarity of thought on valuation. Clear, right? So let's start the discussion. First point, what I'll always teach in valuation topic is that valuation is extremely important since duty is computed as a percentage of value. I repeat one more time, friends. What is the line I wrote, sir? Valuation is extremely important. Valuation is extremely important since duty is computed as a percentage of what, my dear friends? Value. So friends, I repeat one more time. Valuation is extremely important since duty is computed as a percentage of value. Correct, right? Now, next interesting point what I'll tell you is that assessable value. So assessable value is nothing but the value on which we compute the customs duty. That value is called as assessable value. Assessable value in case of imports is CIF. I repeat one more time. Assessable value in case of imports is CIF. And let me tell you very clearly, CIF stands for cost, insurance and freight. CIF stands for what, my dear friends? Cost, insurance and freight. And whereas assessable value in case of exports is FOB, my dear friends. Without knowing this, we can't move any forward at all. And this is very important to know. And already I told this 10 times before also, that in case of imports, assessable value is always CIF. That means we will calculate duty on CIF value. And CIF is nothing but the cost, insurance and freight. And whereas assessable value in case of exports is FOB. And FOB stands very clearly for free on board. Now what is the meaning of free on board? What is the meaning of CIF? I'll explain to you in detail very soon. Don't worry. Clear, right? We'll talk in detail what is CIF, what is FOB. And of course our predominant focus is more on imports, because ultimately all the imports are dutiable except for few. But other side of the story, when I talk about exports, majority of exports are duty free. Correct, right? So that's the reason why it is very important that we have a clarity of thought on what is the assessable value in case of imports, what is the assessable value in case of exports. And I repeat one more time, accessible value in case of imports is CIF and accessible value in case of exports is FOB. This point should be very clear for all of us. Clear, right? Come on. I'll just give you 1 minute. Quickly take these 2 points. Take these 2 points. Come on. Valuation is extremely important since duty is computed as a percentage of value. And second point what I wrote is something very important, that is accessible value in case of imports is CIF, whereas accessible value for exports is FOB. Sir, this topic will take definitely some 2-3 sessions. We can't complete in one session, not possible, but very, very important and extremely wonderful. So please focus. So accessible value in case of imports is CIF, and whereas accessible value in case of exports is FOB. Without any second thought, that is the answer, my dear friends. Clear, right? So for imports, what is the answer, friends? For imports, the answer is CIF, and for exports, the answer is FOB. Can I proceed? Done. So my dear friends, now something interesting we'll talk. I'll prepare one table. That table is known as exchange rate and duty rate table. Exchange rate and what, my dear friends? Duty rate. Other words, my dear friends, if we recollect very properly, we have got some sequence of events in import procedure. Example, goods arrive at Indian Customs Station, then person in charge files import manifesto or import report to the proper officer, then proper officer grants entry inward, then goods are unloaded at approved places on working days during working hours, correct, right? Under supervision of proper officer, then goods under custody of custodian. After that, importer will come into picture and he will file one document called bill of entry. And bill of entry can either be for home consumption or for warehousing, correct or not? So like this, there are some good number of sequence of events which are there in case of imports. So what law told very clearly, which day you have to see exchange rate, which day we have to see duty rate. That is important. I repeat one more time, which day you will see exchange rate, which day you will see duty rate. So for this purpose, my dear friends, I'll divide the table into two parts. One side ER, other side DR. ER stands for exchange rate, DR stands for duty rate. And the concept of exchange rate is actually given by section 14. In fact, section 14 only talks about the concept of valuation, and there only they spoke about something called which day you will see exchange rate. Again in this, imports and exports. Imports and what, my dear friends? Exports. Now interesting points is that in case of imports, we will see on the date of filing bill of entry. I repeat one more time, my dear friends. In case of imports, when do we see, sir? In case of imports, we will see on the date of filing bill of entry. Such an interesting and important language, friends. I repeat one more time. Exchange rate in case of imports. Exchange rate in case of imports, we will see on the date of filing bill of entry. Exchange rate in case of imports, we will see on the date of filing bill of what, my dear friends? Entry. And for exports, we will see on the date of filing shipping bill or bill of exports. Come on, my dear friends. Exchange rate in case of imports, when do we see, my dear friends? On the date of filing bill of entry. Now which bill of entry? That bill of entry could be for home consumption or bill of entry could be for warehousing. Whatever first bill of entry we filed. Why I am saying first? Because in case of warehousing, first we will file into bond bill of entry for warehousing, and again we file ex bond bill of entry for home consumption. Correct, right? Come on. So exchange rate, my dear friends, in case of imports, we will see on the date of filing bill of entry, and exports we will see on the date of filing shipping bill or bill of export. Clear, right? And shipping bill, bill of export, my dear friends, the difference is very clear that shipping bill story will come. Shipping bill story will come in case where exports are through. I repeat one more time, shipping bill story will come in case where exports are through vessel or aircraft, and bill of export will come in case where exports are through vehicle, my dear friends. So getting clarity, sir? Very, very interesting and important, guys. Come on. Exchange rate and what rate? Duty rates. And exchange rate concept is given by section 14, which clearly says that in case of imports, we will see on the date of filing bill of entry. And in case of exports, we will see on the date of filing shipping bill or bill of exports. And shipping bill is the word used in case of export by vessel or aircraft. And in case of export by vehicle, we use the language called bill of export. Clear, right? Very interesting language, friends, and important also. Come on, please. Clear, right? So friends, to repeat one more time, exchange rate concept is given by section 14, which clearly says that in case of imports, please see the exchange rate on the date of filing bill of entry. Now, one very important point to be noted is that the bill of entry could be either bill of entry for warehousing or bill of entry for home consumption, any bill of entry. But the point is that first bill of entry what we file, and in case of exports, date of filing shipping bill or bill of export, and shipping bill is the language used. Shipping bill is the language used in case of vessel or aircraft, and bill of export is the language used in case of vehicle, my dear friends. Very, very interesting language, friends. Now, one important point I will tell you is that exchange rate, my dear friends, we should always consider exchange rate, we should always consider CBIC rate and not RBI rate. Very, very important. Sir, in GST law, when we were talking about valuation in case of money changing, we learnt about the word called RBI rate. But here in customs law, we are not concerned with RBI rate, but we are concerned only with the rate of CBIC. So exchange rate of what, my dear friends? CBIC is considered and not RBI. Clear, right? Good. Other side, when I talk about duty rate, that means on which day you will see the duty rate, on which day you will see the rate of basic customs duty. That's what we are talking. Social welfare surcharge, already we know that is 10% on BCD, and IGST, it depends upon the type of product. Correct, right? So which day we will see the duty rate, that is important. For this, my dear friends, duty rate, we'll divide the table into two parts again. Imports and exports. And the concept of imports is dealt by section 15, whereas exports is dealt by section 16. So section 14 is talking about exchange rate, and 14 deals with exchange rate for imports also, exports also. I repeat one more time, 14 deals with exchange rate for imports also, exports also. But in case of duty rate, section 15 deals with the date, section 15 deals with the date for determination of rate of duty, and 16 deals in case of exports. Got clarity of thought, my dear friends? Speak out. Very good. Come on, Sira. So in case of imports, my dear friends, we'll divide them into two categories, boss. What are two categories? Imports are done by aircraft or vehicle. Other side, imports are done through vessel, my dear friends. Imports are done through what, my dear friends? Aircraft or vehicle. Other side, imports are done through what, my dear friends? Vessel. Now what law told, very interesting point here, is that in case where it is through aircraft or vehicle, law told the answer is date of filing, bill of entry for home consumption. Sir, don't stop at the word called bill of entry. You have to observe the complete word there, and the complete word is very clearly date of filing, bill of entry for what consumption? Home consumption. Now, when we were talking about exchange rate, what did I say? Exchange rate, I only use the word date of filing, bill of entry, and it could be bill of entry for warehousing or bill of entry for home consumption. But when I talk about duty rate, it is always bill of entry for home consumption. Why? There is a logic also for that. It's a logical common sense. When we file bill of entry for warehousing, we don't pay duty at all. The question of payment of duty will arise. The question of payment of duty will arise only when we are filing bill of entry for home consumption. One more time I repeat, sir. The question of payment of duty will arise only when we are filing bill of entry for home consumption. We don't pay the duty when we are filing bill of entry for warehousing. We pay the duty only when we file bill of entry for home consumption. Correct or not? That is why importance is given for bill of entry for home consumption. See now, date of filing bill of entry for home consumption or arrival of aircraft or vehicle whichever is later, my dear friends. Sir, something very interesting concept. Kindly please look at that, my dear friends. So in case of aircraft or vehicle, what is the answer, my dear friends? Date of filing bill of entry for home consumption, when the bill of entry is filed. Or what, my dear friends? Arrival of aircraft or vehicle, whichever is later. And very logical point, it should be whichever is later, obviously because of a simple fact and reason that, sir, common sense you apply. I already taught you that generally we file bill of entry before the end of next day. Generally we file bill of the entry before the end of next day. Next day we will see from the date on which aircraft or vehicle arrives. So aircraft or vehicle arrived on 10th August. We are required to file bill of entry by 11th August. Correct or not? We know that language already. But one special point is we learnt is that bill of entry can be filed in advance also. Friends, correct or not? We already learned that concept called bill of entry can be filed in advance also. But an interesting thing we learned there was whenever we talk about bill of entry in advance, we can file not earlier than 30 days of expected arrival. That means if we know that it's going to come within 30 days maximum, then we can file bill of entry in advance also. Now, I'll ask you one common sense point. You filed bill of entry in advance, but so far aircraft or vehicle did not come into India. So will you pay the duty? Obviously you will not pay, because you will obviously pay the duty only when you take the goods in your hand. At the time of taking the goods only you will pay the duty. Next possibility. Aircraft or vehicle arrived. Can you directly go and take the goods? Answer is no. We will take the goods only after I file bill of entry for home consumption. That is why they use the language called date of filing bill of entry for home consumption or date of arrival of aircraft or vehicle, whichever is later, my dear friends. Need not think in exam whether it is later or earlier, need not take too much of effort. It's very logical, common sense. Even though you filed bill of entry first, you will not take delivery unless the aircraft or vehicle arrives. And even though aircraft or vehicle arrives, you will not make the payment unless you file bill of entry. That is why the common sense point is that date of filing bill of entry for home consumption or date of arrival of aircraft or vehicle, whichever is later, my dear friends. Whichever is what, sir? Later. Extremely important concept, no doubt about it. But in case of vessel, the concept is slightly different, my dear friends. Where for vessel, slight difference in concept is that date of filing bill of entry for home consumption, date of filing, what, my dear friends? Date of filing bill of entry for home consumption, that language is same, or entry inwards to vessel, whichever is later. Obviously whichever is later, my dear friends. And if you remember, starting in the introduction chapter only, I taught you the import procedure. There only I clearly explained to you that, my dear friends, there is something called when person in charge files import manifesto or import report to proper officer grants something called entry inward. And there only I explained to you that this concept of entry inwards is only in case of vessel. This concept of entry inwards is only in case of vessel, my dear friends. No doubt about it. I repeat one more time, the concept of entry inwards is only in case of vessel. Clear, right? Come on. So imports duty rate is dealt by section 15, which clearly says that in case of aircraft or vehicle, date of filing bill of entry for home consumption or arrival, whichever is later. And for vessel, what is the answer, my dear friends? Date of filing bill of entry for home consumption or entry inwards to the vessel, whichever is later. Clear, right? Come on, sit down. So let's say for a second, one person called Mr. X imported goods by air. One more time I repeat, sir. Mr. X imported goods by air, and what has happened is aircraft arrived on 20th June 2020. Come on, friends, when did aircraft arrive? Aircraft arrived on 20th June 2020. Example. But whereas bill of entry for home consumption is filed on 18th June only. That means what? Bill of entry is clearly filed in advance. Is it allowed? 100% it is allowed. We can definitely file bill of entry in advance, my dear friends. Now listen. Now what has happened is that exchange rate duty rate, exchange rate, RBI, CBIC again. Now what is happening is that on 18th June 2020, he imported basically, my dear friends, let's say for $1,000. Clear, right? Now RBI rate for that dollar is, let's say, 70. RBI rate for the dollar is 72, CBIC is 70, and duty rate on that date is 10%. Now, on 20th June 2020, this is 74 and this is 73. Clear, right? Now, don't think that CBIC rate is always less than RBI rate. Nothing like that. Generally, those two rates are same only with some differences. That's all. Don't worry. Don't apply your brain on why CBIC rate is less, RBI rate is more. That is not relevant criteria for us here. The relevant criteria of discussion here is basically to look at which day we will see. And duty rate is, let's say, 15%. Clear, right? Come on, tell me, friends. Now, what is that exchange rate you will consider? That is the question. Come on. Which day we will see, my dear friends? Exchange rate we will always consider on the date of filing bill of entry. Correct or not, my dear friends? Exchange rate we will always consider on the date of filing bill of entry. That is nothing but 18th June. On that day, what rate we will see that too? We will see the rate of CBIC. We will not look at RBI rate. I taught you this. And when I talk about duty rate we will see on 18th June or 20th June, whichever is later. Now what is later? 20th June. On that day, what is the rate? 15%. So it is very, 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 very important table what I prepared in the previous page. And that's very important, my dear friends. I'll definitely make you write in detail. And high possibility that question will come in exam. And why for that matter possibility? Without knowing that table, we cannot solve any question in valuation. That table what I wrote there is extremely important. Clear, right? Come on. Going back to your discussion, let me complete that table. So friends, exchange rate in case of imports on the date of filing bill of entry. Which bill of entry? It could be bill of entry for warehousing or could be for home consumption, any bill of entry. And for exports, date of filing shipping bill or bill of export. And shipping bill language is in case of vessel or aircraft, and bill of export language is in case of vehicle. And when I talk about duty rate, other side, in case of imports, we will see on the date of, in case of arrival of, in case of aircraft or vehicle, date of filing bill of entry for home consumption or arrival of aircraft or vehicle, whichever is later. And for vessel, my dear friends, date of filing bill of entry for home consumption or entry inwards to vessel, whichever is later. And finally, last point, for exports, dealt by section 16, they clearly told the date on which PO has granted clearance for export of goods. The date on which, what, my dear friends? PO has granted clearance for export of goods, and technically we call it as Leo, my dear friends. I repeat one more time, technically in customs language we call it as Leo. And let me tell you very clearly that Leo stands for Let Export Order. What is Leo, my dear friends? Leo stands for Let Export Order. It's an order passed by whom, sir? It's an order passed by proper officer granting or permitting exporting of goods. Clear, right? Sir, very, very interesting and very important. Without any delay, I want this table in your book. Please, extremely important table. And without knowing this table, we can't solve anything in valuation chapter. Impossible. We cannot solve any chapter in valuation. I mean to say any point in valuation. So please, write this table very clearly and very properly. Extremely important table which deals with the concept of how do we apply exchange rate and duty rate. Come on, take it. In case of imports, date of filing bill of entry, and for exports, date of filing shipping bill or bill of export, and shipping bill is the language used in case of vessel or aircraft, and bill of export is the language used in case of vehicle. Other side, when I talk about duty rate for imports by aircraft or vehicle, date of filing bill of entry for home consumption or arrival, whichever is later, my dear friends. And for vessel, it is date of filing bill of entry for home consumption or entry inwards, whichever is later. And the last point, that is exports, my dear friends. And that case, what we do is that date on which PO has granted clearance for export of goods, and that is technically called as LEO. And let me tell you very clearly that LEO stands for Lead Export Order. What does LEO stands for, my dear friends? LEO stands for Lead Export Order, my dear friends. Come on, take it, important. Finish writing? Can I move forward? And in exchange rate, highlight that word that we'll always take CBIC rate and not RBI rate. By mistake also don't take RBI rate, because 100% what we'll follow is CBIC rate only, but never RBI rate. So friends, without any delay, I request you to take this example also, because example gives you complete clarity of thought on how do we apply this principle of exchange rate and duty rate. Something interesting, my dear friends. So please do write. Clear with this? This example gave you complete clarity of thought that in case of exchange rate, we will see on the date of filing bill of entry, but for duty rate, we will see bill of entry or arrival, whichever is later. Obviously, we will see whichever is later, no doubt about it. Clear, right? That's it. That is what is the story of this wonderful discussion called exchange rate and duty rate. And friends, let me very clearly tell you, with this discussion, we are done with some very basic understanding about the interesting topic called valuation. But we have still a lot of interesting rules, especially for valuation. We have got some customs valuation rules, in which we have got rule 3 to rule 12, where we have got so many points to talk, which we'll discuss in detail in the next session, my dear friends. Clear? So we'll stop here, and the balance will take forward in next session. And next session we'll talk completely about entire valuation discussion. Clear? Thank you so very much. Take care. See you all in next session. Bye-bye. Thank you.